Video Part 4. Review by Saved Strips. Reviewing saved strips. The report includes full-size, 7.5 second, 25 mm per second strips on a background grid. Some strips are automatically saved based on the setting in the What Strips to Autosave window. You can also use the Keep button to manually save strips while reviewing the Holter recording. To review the saved strips, click Saved Strips in the Holter menu. The Saved Strips window displays a miniature version of the strips 12 at a time. Each is labeled with its strip label and the time of day at which it occurred. Page through them using either the page up or page down keys, clicking on the up and down arrow keys of the scroll bar, or using the scroll button on your mouse. All strips are 3-channel unless oximetry data was collected for this patient. If oximetry data is present, it appears in the area where channel 3 normally appears, and data fields of oxygen saturation data appear to the right of the standard data fields. All strips are 3-channel unless oximetry data was collected for the patient. If oximetry data is present, it appears in the area where channel 3 normally appears, and data fields of SpO2, oxygen saturation data, appear to the right of the standard data fields. The strips are initially sorted by strip label. To review them ordered by time of day, select Time from the choices in the sort field. Changing the active strip. At any time, there is only one active strip, the strip outlined in blue. 4 fields above the strips refer specifically to the active strip. Those fields include time of day, a strip number, HR, heart rate, and HR2, the second heart rate, that is, the heart rate of a run of VTAC or SVT in the strip. To change the active strip, click on the one you want so that the outline surrounds it. You can also change the active strip by clicking the List button in the toolbar to open the List window. The List window lists each strip label and corresponding heart rate in order of time of day. To display a particular strip from the list, click on the appropriate entry on the list and click OK, or double-click on the entry. To exit without changing the active strip, click Cancel. Editing a strip label. To change the label of the active strip, click on Edit in the toolbar. The Edit window opens. It includes a field with the current label of the strip and the heart rate of the ECG in the strip, along with the second heart rate, the rate of either SVT or VTAC if it is present. A second heart rate of 0 indicates that there is no run on the strip. You can either type over the existing strip label in the description field or select an alternate label by clicking on the arrow at the right end of the description field and selecting a label from the displayed list. If you type the entry, the autofill feature appears. As you type, the characters are matched to the preset list and will automatically fill in. If the text that appears is not what you want, continue typing the entry until it displays appropriately. If the label you want is not already on the preset list, you must type the entire entry. Once the correct label appears, press Enter. When you have completed your changes, click OK to save those changes and exit. Click Cancel to exit without saving any changes. Deleting strips. If you decide to delete one or more of the strips from the final report, you could do that in the Saved Strips window. To delete one strip in the multiple strip display, click on it to make the strip active, then click Delete in the toolbar. To delete more than one strip, click on the first strip to make it the active strip. In addition to the blue highlight around the strip, there is also a yellow highlight around the time of day indicating that the strip is selected. Click on any additional strips you want to delete, then click Delete in the toolbar. All of the selected strips, as indicated by the yellow highlight, are now deleted. When you delete a strip, its label becomes red. Strips with red labels are not included in the printed report. To retrieve a deleted strip, click on it and then click Delete in the toolbar again. The label text changes back to yellow. To delete all of the strips displayed, click the button labeled Delete on Delete All. To retrieve all of the strips displayed, click the button again. Deleting channels from a strip. To delete one or more channels of a strip, but not the entire strip, click on a strip to make it active. Then click on one of the checkboxes labeled 1, 2, and 3. For a particular strip, if a check is present, the channel will be included. If a box is not checked, the channel will be deleted. To delete a channel from all strips, delete the channel from the active strip, then click on All. When the Confirm window appears, click Yes to delete the channels from all strips. Click No to cancel the All command. Replacing a strip with an alternative. Some strips can be replaced by an alternative. Maximum and minimum heart rates, shortest and longest RR intervals, and fastest and longest runs of VTAC and SVT. The software selects sample strips for those types automatically. If you would prefer to select a different one, perhaps because the selected one contains artifact, click on the strip to make it active. The Alternatives button appears. When you click Alternatives, the Alternatives window opens, displaying other choices for the label. All categories except the longest runs are sorted by heart rate, with the worst case first. The longest runs of SVT and VTAC are sorted by length, longest first. The current selection is the first one in the upper left corner. To select a different strip, click on the strip and then the Select New Alternative button. The window closes and the new strip appears in the Saved Strips window. To exit from the Alternatives window without changing the strip, click the Back to Save Strips button. Measuring. The data fields in the center of the toolbar, heart rate 2RR, time, and the ST indicators for each channel contain data calculated based on the blue calipers in the active strip. As you drag the blue calipers, those fields change, reflecting the new caliper positions. To measure a 2-beat heart rate, place the calipers 2RR intervals apart. The measurement appears in the HR2RR field. To measure ST in any of the channels, position the left caliper in the isoelectric area of the PR interval and the right caliper where you want to make the ST measurement. The measurements for each channel appear in the appropriate fields. To move the calipers, keeping them the same distance apart, click the checkbox next to both and then drag the calipers. Click again to remove the mark and move them separately. To keep the calipers in the same locations as you move through different screens of ECG, click the checkbox next to Lock. The calipers will stay in the indicated locations unless you move them again. Click again to turn off. Printing the ECG now. To print a strip of ECG centered on a displayed beat, along with a page of full disclosure of the surrounding rhythm, use the Print button. When the print window opens, click the left-hand button to print with the current beat centered on the page of full disclosure, or click the middle button to print with the current beat on the first line of the page. Click Cancel to close the window without printing. Expanding the active strip. To view a strip more closely, either click Single in the toolbar or double-click on the strip. It then fills the Save Strips window. Each beat is labeled with either the heart rate, BPM, or the length in milliseconds of the RR interval following the beat. The blue measurement calipers and the related data fields work in this window exactly as those described in the previous section, Measuring. All other buttons and fields work in the expanded display just as they do in the multiple strip display. Use Page Up and Page Down to display the other strips. To return to the multiple strip display, click Multiple in the toolbar.